Hello, happy equinox. I'd forgotten about it actually, and I was feeling a bit weird. I thought, oh, what's happening now? Full moon, equinox, and so forth. So it's a bit of a tricky time, I think, for everybody. I've just been watching a very beautiful girl on Higher Self Water. I haven't seen her before. Absolutely beautiful. Long hair, white teeth, perfect skin, probably in her 20s, I thought. And I thought, how wonderful to be looking like that and know so much. And there's me. I know we shouldn't compare ourselves, but old ladies do tend to get down a bit about the loss of their attractiveness. I mean, I know I'm still reasonably attractive, but you compare to this goddess, she was amazing. And I thought about it. She was talking about belief systems and so forth, which I think what I've mentioned from time to time. And I thought, hang on a minute. I've had a very old birthday, beginning with an 8, although I'm only really 7. And I thought, I spent the last 45 years at this, and people of my age are pretty exhausted. We've been at it for a very long time. We are the ones who have paved our way through extreme darkness. That one kind of alone. We've had our friends with us, of course, but on this plane we have had to plough through a great deal of really dense blackness to pave the way for all these newcomers that are coming out with their white teeth and their curly hair, and they're sitting there, and I'm probably jealous. I probably am. But they're sitting there holding forth as though they'd invented it all. And I do get quite miffed about this sometimes, especially on the internet. I think, oh, for goodness sake, you look about 21. What do you know? But of course I don't know what they know, and they're probably more experienced in many ways than I am. They've come in with it all, if you know what I mean. But this has struck me, and I thought, this is a fact. It's a fact. People are old. They have wrinkles. I watched an old lady on the internet another night. I think it was Simon Callow that, the dance thing, and she was 80 something. She was springing about, but her face was full of. Mine isn't too bad because I take HRT. I keep breathing. But it just suddenly struck me that why am I? You can't change it. And it suddenly struck me that the beauty obviously is within, and the light shines. We know all this theory, but inwardly, I just was beginning to feel very old, and very sad, and very lonely, and all the stuff, And I thought, well, let's turn it around. If it hadn't been for me and many others like me of our age and our generation, because of what they call the first wavers, and we are very, very tired. A lot of us aren't my age, of course. A lot of us have died off. I'm still going, and so it seems like that's the beauty. That's the richness, isn't it? I should sort of see it like that. That you do. You're working hard. You give a lot. Maybe I should remember that, but of course nobody knows that. You've had family and kids, and you've come through her life. And this lovely girl, she was beautiful. I thought, has she really gone through stuff? She looked as though she was newborn, to be honest, but so beautiful. And of course, we don't know the whole story. I look quite bright and breezy on the internet. So it just really shook me. I thought, I've got to change my belief system here, because what I have to offer is wisdom. I mean, in the North American tradition, I have an old crone, storyteller, and that's the beauty. I haven't got long curly hair or white teeth or whatever, but my offering is something completely different, and it's not what you see, it's who you are. And I have got to change that belief system. I feel quite tearful talking about it, because it is. You won't know until you get to be old how it feels. It is very hard to adjust to, especially when you've got no one in your life to sort of cheer you up and make you a cup of tea. They still fancy you. Although I must admit, I have had my experiences with being fancied. So I just wanted to say that, really. And then, of course, I just wanted to add the smile. I've got a very good smile, and most people have. Have you noticed that? When somebody smiles, the whole face changes. And I had a lovely experience yesterday I had a microwave oven delivered, and I was worried how to carry it, to be honest. It's very heavy, and it came yesterday morning. I've got a thing about the Indian culture, the Eastern Indian culture. I must have had a past life, I think, and one of the masters that I work for with is Indian many lifetimes ago. So I've got a feeling about it, especially Sikhs. I think I mentioned this to you in my last video when I went to the optician, and the very nice young man, he had a bangle, and I said, "Oh, you're a Sikh." They wear metal bangles and turbans, of course. And I got a thing about Sikhs and the Indian culture, and I thought I've been putting out for a nice man friend with a turban. Who can make curries. And it follows the tantra. Don't forget the tantra. So anyway, I opened the door and this man was standing there. He was a vision. I mean, to me, he was a young man. He had his delivery van, and he had the most beautiful smile I have ever seen. He just radiated. It just lit up. He had a full beard, and he didn't have a turban, so I don't think he was a Sikh. But his whole essence was one of divinity, joy, love, all the things. And my spiritual master Maharaji talks about the cosmic smile, and it is a beautiful. The smile, the cosmic smile, is a God smile. When someone's smiling without a God smile, you can tell the difference. A pure God smile just radiates. It just fills the place. And when a spiritual master smiles, well, that's fantastic, because they all smile a lot, of course. They're full of joy. So this Indian standing there, I thought, he can smile at me, though I'm an old lady. And that set me on thinking about, the poorest of nations. Parts of India are really, really in great poverty, aren't they? And also parts of Africa, a lot of these very, very poor countries. Have you noticed the children? They're smiling. I mean, they're full of smiles, real joyful, loving. Well, I can't use the word loving really, because they're just a natural thing that they just radiate this joy. They've got no money. They're probably going through the rubbish dumps, picking out stuff, and there they are, laughing and joking and full of smiles. Now, there's a moral there somewhere, isn't there? Do you see children in this country, or any country, in the Western world, smiling like that? They always want more and more and more and more and more and more and more. A very decadent society we live in. And there aren't that many children you can see. They're mostly crying or moaning or groaning or wanting something or tugging at mum for sweets. Sorry, I've been I don't mean to be judgmental about it. I'm trying to compare the two. So these Indian and African children, they go carrying buckets of the water to pick up water that's dirty, and they're smiling. I mean, to me that's incredible. That is, finances and money and all the stuff doesn't bring a smile, does it? It doesn't bring a smile. So this lovely man, he was that's just the way he was. It wasn't specifically for me, it was just the way he was, that's his nature, obviously, and it just made my day, really. And I suppose this is something I'm going through at the moment, that smiles and sincerity and joy and all that. Forget the wrinkles, really. They're ego things, I suppose, because you worry about them. That's got to be ego, hasn't it? You've got to get beyond the ego and into this sort of sense of the inner light, the inner peace, and that's what radiates out, isn't it? That was a thought from above. I think perhaps I've done enough. I'm not quite sure. I probably have. 8 minutes, yes. I'm a bit tired today. Not only a bit, I didn't have any sleep last night. I never sleep with full moons. I was passing a bit now. It's only a couple of days, isn't it? So there we are, darlings. That's all for the day. Keep smiling. It's true, isn't it? It is. If you can keep smiling, it helps. It helps you, doesn't it, too? I think that's why I like doing the videos. I come into a smiley mood when I'm here talking to you. I could be sitting in the other room crying my eyes out, suddenly think, oh, I'll do a video, and I cheer up. Which is the real me, eh? Anyway, darlings, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a good time with the equinox and keep smiling.